Yes, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director and Head Containment Specialist here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as we do daily for over 6 months and the daily streak continues strong, I open my door every day for about 30 minutes to 3 hours to you, the Foundation staff members, to answer your queries about the SCP Foundation's inner mysteries, whether it be about anomalous entities that we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to halt our containment efforts, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. Perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. I am here in today's Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42, for the next 3 hours. And so welcome to stream, and a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. First of all, Director Ethan, congratulations on being the most punctual of all SCP Foundation staff members today. Congratulations on being the first chatter. Meanwhile, Dr. Frogman, America, Junior Researcher Sally, Senior Researcher Alex, Cypher's Girl, AA Blackwood, Aoki, Engineer Gaming, Amber Chaos, Soda on Pause. To all whom I have just named, thank you for being extremely punctual today, and thank you all for being members of Site 42 as well. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially in helping us win the battle against the White Names. Meanwhile, Clayton, Troublemaker, Capybara, Team Green Bean, and Masker, congratulations on being punctual as well, and thank you for being here, just for being you. Also, Jennifer, thank you for subscribing to Site 42 staff. Welcome to the team. Dr. Sherman, when are you going to take a break? Well, there's a reason that I don't stream 8 hours a day like some streamers. If I'm doing it daily, I gotta moderate, and I also have other jobs. So, yes, we keep it light around here for that reason, in case you don't know. Furthermore, let's see, anything else I want to jump into in chat at the start? The system is down, the system is down. Oh, great angels now. Yes, Engineer Gaming, my exact feelings entirely. That was blinding me, thank you for turning that down, sheesh. Yes, oh great, angels now. What do I mean by that? Well, that is the subject of today's stream. In our stream title, well, we made space gods already, why not space angels? Today, we are talking about the second day of SCP Anthology 2025, a horror anthology based around the format of the Kabbalah. Why'd I say it like that? And day 2 of SCP Anthology 2025 is codename Two-Way Street, which is of the, where's the proper Kabbalic terminology here? Oh, I see what I've done here. I need to back up. Back up, duplicate the page. So, let me give you a show of this. So here we are at SCP Anthology 2025. It is of the Kabbalah in theme, which, reminder, Keter, our object class, is a term from the Kabbalah. So we've been using terminology like this on the wiki since basically the start. But yesterday we looked at Malkuth, which is when we accidentally turned the planets into gods. And now we are looking at Yesod, otherwise known as SCP-8984, codename Two-Way Street, by author Sewell. Now, Sewell has a reputation of good horror writing on the SCP Wiki. So a lot of people were very thankful to see Sewell on the anthology, since the anthology each year is in October. It is a spooky season, right? And therefore we need to have some spooky season. Therefore, I'm not going to spoil a whole lot of this article because I just finished reading it before stream. I'm trying to keep up with the anthology since I couldn't keep up with the infinity contest entries for 9KCon. 9Con, you might say. But at the very least, I got up to date on this, and oh my, was that quite a disaster. And yes, we already made space gods. Now we're making space angels. I hate it so much when researchers create anomalies. Have you considered the amount of paperwork that containment specialists like me have to do when you make new anomalies? Just stop it. You're Foundation staff. You're not supposed to do that. Yeah, I say. Yeah. But yes, SCP-8984, the Yesod of the SCP-2025 Anthology, Two-Way Street by Sewell, got Dr. Sherman's upvote, especially, as I said in the discussion, for some very interesting human interactions throughout the articles. You'll see some interactions between researchers butting heads over the purposes of their research that doesn't get a lot of play on the SCP Wiki normally. But oh my gosh, when you're dealing with researchers who are all very forward-thinking, creative, driven personalities, it gets aggressive. And so you see a little bit of that in this article, and it's good to see fiction reflect real life. Dutch, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Coming back and refreshing chat. Oh, so when the serpent hands do, it's a problem, but when you do it, it's research. I'm arguing with another doctor. Yeah, it better be another doctor, because I agree with you. I don't like it when anybody makes more anomalies. It's such a headache. So much paperwork. Foxpax & Co., thank you for being our first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some thematically appropriate angel food cake on your way past the commissary. Haven't had that in so long. It's so fluffy. It's like a marshmallow but a cake. Note to self, get an angel food cake. Yeah. So, upon Update on the situation with the supposed Gok Roadrunners. It turns out they were actually operatives of the Dark Ouroboros' arch enemy. Or sorry, Ourodoros, not Ouroboros. I'm not familiar with the Ourodoros. I'm familiar with the Ouroboros. But I will continue. The Conclave of Shadows, and they ambushed us. Luckily, we were able to beat them back. I wouldn't suggest that the Dark Ouroboros or the Dark Ourodoros would fight with the Conclave of Shadows at all. It seems like they'd be in the same team. I'm rather confused that they are arch enemies. But, long story short, I am glad to hear that you guys survived the ambush. I highly recommend finding a safe haven and hunkering down until reinforcements can reach you. Venoman, hey Dr. Sherman, how does the Foundation treat reality benders? Well, most of them, it is the policy of our good Dr. Alto Clef to treat them with liberal application of shotgun munitions before they see you, specifically. Tell me how you transport 682A close to be immortal. Well, Landon, we have multiple times had to transfer 682 from site to site, and in that case, it takes a lot of anesthetics. It takes a lot of knockout drugs to knock out that lizard, and it doesn't last long. Dr. Sherman, where did you get that laboratory coat again? Director Ethan, if you want an SCP Foundation lab coat, your best bet is to go to a medical supply store. There, the lab coats are cheaper than costume lab coats and of a higher quality. You find a lab coat in your size, you find one that fits real well, you take it home for cheap money, and then you buy a lovely SCP Foundation patch from friend of the channel and premier SCP merch maker, Toad King Studios, and you will be able to get some patches that you can iron right on there to create your lab coat. But what if they are immortal? Venom Man, the funny thing is most reality benders are not immortal. It is that they are defending themselves by bending reality. If you can surprise them, they are usually pretty squishy. Hey, I have a Toad King Site 42 parking thing. Toad King is cool. Toad King is cool, and I also have that parking thing. Do you think 035 is aggressive because it has no body, or a body that can last? No, 035 is aggressive because it's a dick. 035 is a manipulative jerk. Always has been. Always will be. Body or no body. What are you drinking? Today I've decided to treat myself to a little bit of the stash we got from the Fallout universe. This is a Nuka-Cola Quantum. It stings the taste buds. Makes them buzz. Bzz. Alki, it looks like orange soda. Zerdrin. Are you thinking with portals? Are you doing color word association? You see blue and so you think portals with orange to match? It's the only way that makes any sense. No, I was being sarcastic. Where is your /S? Where is it? You're in a chat. Be careful. Okay, but what if that is Zerdrin's orange? What if all people see colors differently from each other? Maybe we all have the same favorite color, but we have different words for it. Everyone's favorite color is yellow. But to me, yellow is green. And to you, yellow is red. Can We have SCP-343, the fake god. Fight one of the ones you guys accidentally made. Well, Joey Smith of the Serpent's Hand, you are just jumping around groups of interest, aren't you? Well, 343 is kind of useless. It never actually helps. It just sits there in its chair, pontificating in riddles. So it wouldn't agree to help us. Dark Duality, you are here. I did receive your Ko-Fi while doing errands earlier. And so, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi during a non-streaming moment. But since you're here, I will answer it for you. And since technically that was your first donation of the day, go ahead and grab yourself a slice of cheesecake on your way past the commissary. So 2 more SCPs RPs on YouTube. Nomads, Tales, and Audios, and Joseph Holloway. Warning on the chapter where it's the original version of 166. Good to know. I found a baby griffin running around the basement. It's pink and glittery in its fur. A pink, glittery baby griffin. Interesting. Well, please keep it in the basement until we can get a proper containment cell ready. And I'll have to look into those two and see what their deal is later on. And of course, thank you for donating again to confirm that I saw the Ko-Fi. Much obliged, Dark Duality. As well as thank you for being a member. Am become a space angel, be not afraid. Zerdrin, unfortunately, you cannot become the space angel. If you read in to SCP-8984, you will see that it is very specific as to what becomes the space angel. And once again, it's something that we did on our own that was a bad idea. Great. Did you just start? Yes, intern Mike, we are at 17 minutes into a 3-hour stream, so welcome to the pretty much beginning of stream today. Hello again, Dr. Sherman. My new question, what would happen if Shy Guy met Mallow? So, intern Mafioso, if SCP-096's face were seen by an entity of SCP-1471 codename Mallow, there's nothing 096 could do about it. 096 is in our dimension and reality and corporeal, and all 1471 instances are incorporeal, intangible, i.e. you can't touch them, you can't interact with them physically. So 096 would just have an interdimensional panic attack as it tried to scratch at something it couldn't get to, and it would break down crying, have a mental fallout, and then revert to normal. It did the same thing when it lost a fight to SCP-682, and if it can't defeat its enemy, it just cries and cries and cries. It's so whiny. What should I draw? I'll take anything SCP related. In the name of making art, I demand to you to draw the shining visage of SCP-7000, Dr. William Wallace Weddle. Preferably with something bad happening to him, due to his anomaly being that he has terrible bad luck. Oh, and SCP-7000 is a he, because Dr. Weddle is a Foundation staff member in good standing. Not an it. Quick question, is the Nuka Quantum good and worth picking up a 4-pack from Jones? Well, hashtag non-sponsored, intern Nevada. But I would say it is a sour berry lemonade soda, and it is very heavy on the sour. For instance, I am an enjoyer of atomic warheads, sour candies. I love a good lemon and just taking a chomp out of a lemon. But this, ooh, it is quite sour. I cannot take more than a quick sip. Because it bites, man. It bites. So if you like things sour, you'll appreciate this. Do you think it's funny that the 6'7" kid is an SCP as a joke now? No, I don't, because once again, it results in me having to spend a lot of time explaining that there is an actual SCP-067, and it's not some kid turned into a brain rot analog horror meme. So the answer is no, I do not think it's funny. But I am less down on it than a lot of people are. I have sympathy for the children and their brain rot memes. We were all dumb children at one point, and we'll all be dumb boomers eventually. So enjoy your mind while it works. If it works. Have you tried their other flavor? I think it's Victory. I have not tried the Victory yet. I think I'll have to. Although, I am a huge fan of the classics like Green Apple and Foo Berry. Jones Soda, if you do want a sponsorship, I'm here for you. Although I'm not much of a soda drinker these days. I'm a bit healthier than that. I only treat myself once in a blue moon. An orange moon. Foxpacks & Co. Thank you for donating again. Back in the day, the two were one organization, but around the end of World War II, there was a fracture within the leadership and how to treat the monsters that had been freed a few months prior in the U.S. Okay. Are you talking about the Dark Ouroboros and the Conclave of Shadows? Are you talking about the Dark Ouroboros and the Dark Ouroboros? Which two were the same organization that split? Please, can you show us how to twirl the pen like that? Well, intern Rubik boy, you're in luck. I haven't done a tutorial today, so today's pen tutorial is happening. Hold the pen between your fingers. Turn it sideways und grab it. Und sideways und grab it. Over the top, grab it. Over the top, grab it. Under, over, under, over, over. You can reverse it and go the other way. Over, under, over, under. Practice palm up to make it easier, because gravity will help. Do it palm down to make it harder on yourself. Or just hold your wrist as standard, and you can even do a little bit of a flicking motion to give it some momentum. Practice it in both directions, practice it in both hands, and you'll be good to go. Tutorial complete. Cypher's Girl, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a slice of Black Forest cake on your way past the commissary. Just make sure that it isn't a lie. Hey, Dr. Sherman, can I please check out 035 for the day? They want to take me to see Mamma Mia, The Phantom of the Opera, and Little Shop of Horrors. No, you may not. Because that lying, thieving bastard just wants to steal your body. And we're not going to let that happen. Foxpacks & Co., thank you for donating again. To clarify, the Dark Ouroboros, and you said Ouroboros again, so I'm assuming that you're doubling down on Ouroboros as you're counting, as you're spelling and pronunciation, and the Conclave of Shadows. I'm gonna look up Ouroboros versus Ouroboros now. I am just curious. I've never heard of that. Ouroboros. Search for instead. Ouroboros versus Ouroboros. I'm not seeing a lot with the D in the middle there. But I'm sure you've got your thing going on. I'm sure you've got a reason. By the way, someone mentioned this in a comment. It was a 6-7 meme, so Desk got him, because that's how the Desk do. But it did make me curious. We already know what SCP... we already know that 067 exists. But now, curiosity-wise, what is SCP-6767 on the wiki? Well, it's adorable to start with. I'm sorry. It is a cute baby right there. That's pleasant as a starting point. Don't mind that. A small sapient reptile composed entirely of beryllium bronze alloy. 6767 has exhibited neoteny and functional immortality via the involuntary shedding of its outermost layer when severely damaged or oxidized, revealing a younger instance of 6767 underneath. 6767 is capable of communication via both vocalization and telepathy, however prefers the former due to the difficulty of evocative telepathy. Due to it being entirely composed of beryllium copper alloy, and the fact that it regularly sheds its outermost layer, most radiological dating methods are unfeasible. 6767 has stated that it is currently in its early 4600s, after Dr. Callahan asked it directly. It claims to have access to collector memories of all currently deceased individuals. This includes in-depth knowledge in nearly every field of study and craft, esoteric or otherwise, as demonstrated by 6767 when prompted. This is further corroborated by its knowledge of highly classified information. And then we have a long series of interviews. It turns out that 6767 was discovered when it broke into the facility and landed in a researcher's coffee cup, which it claimed to be quite hot. And it wants to meet with a Dr. Dexter, site director of Site 39. And it seems to know everything about our methods of research. And yeah, it's... Ooh, this is the interview bit, isn't it? Yeah, sure, fire away, Doc. So it's very casual. It means it knows everything the dead knew in life. It contains the memories of every person who has ever died. From the time they were born until the time they died. Your father loved you, Henry. He wanted to reconcile with your mother and died in a car accident before he could. It was never his intention to abandon you nor Frederick. All three of you were in his final thoughts. I'm sorry. That's a lot to drop on someone in your entrance interview to containment. All right, well, there's a lot going on here. I'm going to need to check in on 6767 later. It seems like a nice enough bloke. Although I wonder if there's going to be a turn, because there's very often a turn. Okay, I will need to look into SCP-6767 later, but that is, adorable. Bro did not call Dr. Sherman Unk. Well, I am definitely Unk status in internet years, that's for sure. I am not offended by Unk. Mafioso, intern Mafioso, do you think the fandom of Mallow is disgusting or no? Well, let me put it like this. As a researcher at the SCP Foundation, I am not pleased with anyone who wants to fraternize with anomalies. It bothers me. It makes things less professional around the Foundation sites. Not a fan. But... Ow! Author Sherman is not a prude, and does find it fine for shipping and goofing off like that for fun, despite the fact that in-universe it doesn't make sense. Go ahead, you horny freaks, even though Dr. Sherman's gonna yell at you. Don't give them permission, you jackass! Intern Skibinator. We just talked about that all of 5 minutes ago. Please go back and watch it, and then come back to the current stream. Sewell cooked with Yezod. I completely agree, Intern McPherson. I completely agree. Sewell was a cookin'. Dr. Sherman, a question. What kind of tea do you prefer? So, this is non-sponsored, but there's a very particular blend called sucre, with an accent over the E, that I've only ever found at one tea shop in Tampa, Florida that goes by the name Tabella Tea Company. It is a butterscotch white tea, and it is incredible. Really, if you try it, let me know what you think, but mwah, c'est magnifique. Hi, boss. Just got done in a ROTC parade. All right, good on ya. Discipline's important to us at the Foundation. If you're trying out for the Mobile Task Forces, you're on the right path. Dr. Sherman, what's your favorite Fallout game? Ooh, okay. So I'm a bit of a casual in that while I'm a big fan of the games, I've never played 1 or 2. Therefore, you're looking at 3 New Vegas and 4 as my games. And I never really got into 76. It didn't feel right to play. There was something about the movement that just didn't feel good, and so I couldn't get into it. But I think New Vegas for story and characters, and Fallout 4 for game feel. Because, Fallout 4, just the mechanics feel nice to play. And the shooting was made to feel nice, which it did a good job. But the story and the writing was so off. Fridge Boy. That's all I gotta say about Fallout 4's writing. Gee, many sakes. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Couldn't leave it in their civilian basin. Checked it for injuries. It's a Wondertainment pet. Oh, brother. All right, well, if you were able to check it over, that means at least it's non-violent. Trying to make an animation about you and 049, downloaded the audio. Who is the voice of 049? The voice of 049 is friend of the channel, the Volgan. The Volgan has been the voice of 049 in the 049 article, as well as in the game SCP Containment Breach, and many other places. Yeah, if you're hearing 049, very often you're hearing the Volgan. Is SCP-1000 actually Bigfoot? Well, Intern Mafioso, I would say that it is the race of Bigfoots, not just one individual Bigfoot. There used to be a lot of them, and then we changed that. My friend found an SCP that looks like me out in space, bigger than Earth. Any SCP you know? Well, I don't know, Intern Pick. Are you a shrimp? Because if so, then yes, that's SCP-5909. But if you're not a shrimp, then no, I don't know the answer. Cypher's Girl, thank you for your 5-month member message as a Site-42 Level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the secrets you have uncovered in your research that will help us win the battle against the White Nabes. Finish Mamma Mia with 035, on to the next musical. I am going to demote you. Oh my word. What are you doing? You are disrespecting direct orders. Intern profile picture, SCP-67-J was already attempted to be written, but a lot of SCPs like that, they're just not that funny. They write up a case file of what it is, and there's no joke to it. It's really hard to take an off-site joke and turn it into a successful SCP article. It just never vibes. So, someone already tried that. It's already been deleted. Not gonna happen. Dr. Sherman, what are your thoughts on Led Zeppelin? Intern Mike's, I have not heard a lot of their music, being honest. In fact, my main exposure to Led Zeppelin is the scene in the movie Wayne's World, where they're told they're not allowed to play Stairway to Heaven on the store guitars. How is the membership goal going? Junior Researcher Sally, let's see how the battle against the White Names is going. Refreshing. Today's membership count is at 1,429 members. 1,429. Now a reminder of the goals. If we hit 2,500 members, chat has gotten me to agree to dye my hair pink next. I don't know why that's what you asked for, but yes, at 2,500 members, of which we are just about 60% of the way there, I will dye my hair pink, I guess. What entertains you is, there, I guess. Meanwhile, if we hit the full membership goal, which is 5,000 members, and the reason we want 5,000 members is because Junior Researcher Sally is making a whole bunch of custom emojis for the channel, and taking requests for them as well, because it is a lot of emojis. But YouTube puts them behind a membership wall, so you can only unlock X amount of emojis slots per amount of memberships you have. And you unlock the full amount at 5,000 green names. So we're trying to hit that goal, and in return, besides getting all of the emoji slots unlocked, which would give us an onslaught of custom SCP staff and anomaly emojis in the chat, beyond giving Junior Researcher Sally a much-needed promotion, the chat has also agreed upon and demanded that I purchase a maid dress and perform a stream as Dr. Theron Sherman from the Cat Maid Waifu Dimension. Again, I don't know why this is what you want, but if this is what you want and this is what we've agreed to, then there you go. And so keep joining as channel members to Site42 and keep donating memberships to the Site42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e. chat, to get that set. Based on the fact that my next hair color appointment is a week away, it does not look like we will get pink hair this month unless something crazy happens. But that doesn't mean it's off the table. It just means it's delayed to when you guys hit the goal. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Volgan is cool. I made an 049 audio once too. Oh, very nice. Good on ya. Make more art. Make more art. Love it. And yes, Volgan is cool, despite any clips from yesterday's stream claiming the otherwise that are completely out of context. MMI, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some waffle fries on your way past the commissary. Hello, Dr. Sherman. Can SCP-3008, the building itself, be destroyed, or is it indestructible, or can it be destroyed but the dimension inside live? So what we know about the SCP-3008's containment building is that if you destroy a wall from inside the Infinite IKEA, you just end up in more Infinite IKEA. The dimension just keeps going. If you destroy a wall of the Infinite IKEA on the outside going in, then you just enter the normal IKEA building, not the Infinite IKEA. In fact, every door or way into that IKEA itself that isn't the front door doesn't function to get you into the Infinite IKEA. Only the front door does. And so my hypothesis is if we destroyed the entire building but left the front door, you'd still be able to get into the Infinite IKEA. But as soon as you did something to that front door, we would probably lose our connection to the anomaly. But that's a hypothetical, and we are not going to do that. What is this in the chat? Desk. I do agree with the chat that Junior Researcher Sally is allowed to make a desk emote for the fact that this is Site42 and things that are Site42 canon are allowed. So, for instance, and all of the G'I combined help me when I say this, if Junior Researcher Sally wanted to make a Clown Milk Jesus emote, I would not fault them. Yes, inside jokes for the Site42 community are allowed to be emotes. And remember, we need to get to 500 memberships to unlock all the emote slots for all of these ideas we're having. So become green names, even level 1 researchers. As that is a, what is it, $3 a month American? Although the price fluctuates depending on what country you're in. YouTube does that on the back end. Intern Tyla. It looks like that's your name. If you are able to become a member, if you have the settings in your YouTube set to do that, then there are membership join pages on the front page of Site42 on YouTube. There also should be a join button in the chat. Triple S, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Wafa Thin Mint on your way past the commissary. We need a screaming tree emoji. So, the tree, but Junior Researcher Sally, can you make a tree emote that is broken in a way in its middle so that it has a screaming mouth similar to the Roaring Knight's belly in Deltarune? That's what I imagine when I think screaming tree emote. Because yes, tree emote, obviously, but screaming tree emote, oh yes. Reminder, everyone, in case you don't know, the emotes that Junior Researcher Sally is making have very strict size dimensional rules. And so we have to fit the details into a very small setting. So just keep an eye on that with your ideas. Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating again. But Dr. Sherman, 035 is actually really nice. I don't get why you don't like them. Anyway, we finished Little Shop of Horrors, only one more musical to go. How are you watching musicals so quickly anyways? A musical is usually a 3-hour engagement. We have only been streaming for 45 minutes. What the hell do you mean? You and 035 have watched 2 different musicals. None of this makes sense. Avery, hashtag AIA for hashtag annoyed and asexual. I kind of like that, especially if they were balloon letters with the colors of the ace flag. That would be cute. I'm singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. Sorry, Carlos, you got it stuck in my head. And I thought it fit this nice beat that friend of the channel, Billith, is giving us on his music project, Slowgramming. Available on YouTube and Spotify. The wonderful background music of our streams. Holy, you know that. Carlos, first of all, I'm a dance teacher. I am well familiar with singing in the rain. I've done a burlesque routine to it. Sorry, what? Wait, who else has... Wait, has the tree screamed yet? No, Sid, the tree has not screamed yet. It's just wishful thinking. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. So can that IKEA also travel through countries? Denmark has IKEA too, and one close to where I live. So the only IKEA on planet Earth that we know of that can enter the Infinite IKEA is the one we have in containment. It is not known that any other IKEA has the same anomalous dimension door into the Infinite IKEA. But if we find one, obviously we should lock it down and check. Dr. Alpha, if you're talking about being trapped in the Site 42's Welcome channel, if you're stuck in Welcome, it's either because you haven't read the rules right and done something, or because a moderator is not active right now and it takes time. So we have only a couple moderators, give them a minute, and if you've done it right, they'll come get you. It's not an automatic process. Avery, we are drinking non-sponsored Nuka-Cola Quantum from the Fallout universe, courtesy of the Jones Soda Company. It's very sour. Why is it spicy? Black Sapphire Cookie Dr. Sherman, have you heard of creepypastas perchance? If so, which one is your favorite and or least favorite? Yo, I'm an SCP Foundation content creator. We were spawned from the bowels of creepypasta. I know what creepypasta is. I'm buddies with Nick Nocturne, the ARG haunting creepy guy creator extraordinaire. Yeah, I'm well familiar with creepypastas. That being said, do I have a favorite of them? I don't know. I need to, like, I have so many stories in my head from dealing with SCPs every day. Let me look up a general list of creepypastas. What are the popular ones for me to choose one? Creepypasta list. Oh, 100% no holds bar, Ben Drowned. Ben Drowned all day. Hella, mixed media. It's art. Ben Drowned. The original series, I'm not so much into the future phases. But Ben Drowned from the start, ooh, that's a spicy, creepy Mr. Ball. Plus, Majora's Mask is my favorite Zelda and one of my favorite video games. And, oh, so I was all over that. Woof. Remember Siren Head. Intern Palpatine, how could I forget? I had to spend an entire summer reminding people that Siren Head was not an SCP because everyone thought it was. I'll never forget. You criminal. Criminal door manipulator. Agent Charlemagne just tried to close the door to my studio is what I was doing there if you weren't certain of what that engagement was. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. The Center, I told you about, contains gender-bend creepypasta characters, more SCP-RP, and one of the first I heard, alternate Aurora. I am unfamiliar with a lot of that. Gender-bend creepypasta characters, interesting. I wonder what they are doing with this. Gotta refresh the chat. Do-do-do-do. I'm back. I was reading the new anthology, but I'm back. Well, Dr. Frogman, don't leave us in suspense. What did you think of Yezad? Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating again. We went to a time warp dimension. We just finished the last musical, so we're coming back now and heads up and Tango 35 trick-or-treating this year. Why are you ignoring direct orders? Do you... I'm going to have to talk to your supervisor. I'm just glad you don't work at my site. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Triple S, thank you for donating again. Another emoji idea here, Catmate049. I completely agree. If it can fit into the allotted space, then I agree that Junior Researcher Sally should put Catmate Waifu 049 on the list. Triple S, thank you on top of that for donating 5 memberships to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. We appreciate your generosity and your help building up our forces to win the battle against the White Names. And if you happen to be here, receiving one of those memberships, make sure to thank Triple S for their generosity. Dr. Sherman, any tips for a musical Singing in the Rain Junior? Well, singing is something I am pretty good at, but I'm not good at teaching it, if that's a thing. There's a lot to like dancing, which I teach, and I understand the body mechanics. But when it comes to my voice, I've learned how to do it in school, but I never really learned enough to teach it. So I'm sorry I don't have the best advice. But I guess you gotta breathe from your diaphragm and you gotta put that sound down in your belly so you can project with that jazzy deep sound. Site 42 staff, I will, what's the phrase I'm looking for? I will apologize. Our animal wrangler is out of commission today. So all of the animals who are running around on site, unfortunately, I do not have the ability to wrangle them at this time. Another day, another day. Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating again. Sir, you are my supervisor, remember. Well, funny story. If that were the case, why are you ignoring every direct order to stop what you are doing? I assumed that you wouldn't be the kind of staff member who ignores a direct order. So if I am your boss, then you tell me what the fork you are doing. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. So lots of channels with SCP, but most was ASMR. SCP, ASMR. And then 096 ripped the person's head off of his neck, and the blood spurted everywhere. Gross. Don't like it. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some chicken lollipops on your way past the commissary. Can these mentioned animals do as they please then? Well, don't tell them that. Don't tell them that. What are they going to do if they realize that they have free reign for the day? Do you know about Slendy Tubbies, Dr. Sherman? I have No idea what it is, and I am scared to ask. On the topic of making space gods, are you guys familiar with Albrecht Entrati and his crimes against the order of the universe, including making space gods? Intern Archon, I am not familiar with this person in any sense of the word. Seems like a voice actor of some renown. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. More audio RPs than real ASMR, called negative ASMR. I have never heard of negative ASMR. Interesting. Oh, wow. I don't know how this got by me. Site 42 staff, congratulations. You've got the like count far above the viewer count of today's stream. Excellent work, Mobile Task Force Site 42, codename Signal Boosters. Your intrepid work hitting that like button has made the YouTube algorithm shine upon this stream today, and it will turn us over to more people and make them go, what the hell is the SCP Foundation? And that's how we'll get them. They'll be like, oh wow, this guy really knows what he's talking about these weird spooky ghosts, especially in this, the season of spooky, a mere 9 days from the evening of terrors. And so, wonderfully speaking, thank you for your efforts to continue to help us support the SCP Wiki and its authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc. I salute you, Mobile Task Force Sci 42. Signal Boosters. Dr. Sherman, are there any rabbit or rabbit-like SCPs? I know there's Josie the Half-Cat, and to not give her cheese, good. But I don't know any other animal SCPs. Also, who's excited for Halloween? You're talking about the Evening of Terrors? SCP what? 031-J, I believe it is? Yes, SCP-031-J, the Evening of Terrors, that strikes fear into the heart of every SCP Foundation employee because of the terror that takes place on the streets of the world in America and certain European countries. Read the logs of SCP-031-J to see what we think about that. But also, rabbit SCPs. So there are other animals in general. I mean, Dr. Kane Pathos Crow, staff member of the Foundation, is a dog. So there's that. There's no rule saying a dog can't be an employee of the SCP Foundation. Intern Tanner, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Furthermore, a certain SCP researcher and site director of some renown wrote SCP-3802, codename Hair Growth by Dado, and it is, well, there are certainly some hairs in there. Rabbit-like entities indeed. Furthermore, let's see, Josie the Half-Cat. The iPods, SCP-131, are basically treated like cats. I'm sure there's some other ones out there. Oh yeah, Dr. Roth is a cat. Dr. Roth is a cat as well. SCP-524, codename Walter, the Omnivorous Rabbit. All right, Amber, good call, good call. Oh, brother. Dr. Sherman, I taped a picture of 096 onto the Peanut's face. I messed up big time, but hey, more experiments. Intern Daichi. Have you ever considered that you could look at the Peanut's feet just fine without blinking? That you don't gotta look anywhere near the face? You guys are so simple-minded. Honestly, it's not that big a deal. And you're not entertaining for being the millionth person to do it. Desk has also informed me that there is SCP-2036, codename Fire Rabbits. If you're interested in more rabbit-based anomalies. Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating again. Well, I'm one of the only staff that can make 682, 196, 106, and 610 go back to containment with no casualties involved, so possibly untouchable. I don't know. That Mary Sue streak of yours is going to end up in some bad problems someday. All of that uber power untouchableness, it always comes crashing down, usually on your family and friends in a tragic manner. Be careful with that. I need to check this out later, but it opens pretty well. SCP-72. No! Amber, why? Oh! Fuck! 729-J. That's a stuffed rabbit! It's not even the same thing! I'm all right. All right. Dr. Sherman, do you have any favorite Hawaiian shirts? You seem like that type of guy. I wouldn't say I have favorites because I have color moods and vibes. My Hawaiian shirt closet is embarrassing. Time check. Intern Lils, we are currently 70 minutes into a 3-hour stream, leaving 1 hour and 50 minutes left. Shit, we're talking about SCP? Yes, Calvin. Well, welcome to Site 42. If this is your first time, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And once a day, whether it be for 30 minutes or 3 hours, I open my office doors and stream to you, the Foundation staff, to answer your queries about the inner workings of the SCP Foundation. And so you have a little less than 2 hours to ask your questions, comments, and concerns. Calvin, SCP-906 is not right behind me. I'm in the Audiophonics lab. It's a very narrow space. There is nothing behind me. Nice attempt at a trick, though. And by nice, I mean like 4 out of 10. You could do better. Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e. chat. Make sure to follow the rules of chat and to listen to the moderator desk, lest you accidentally be hidden because you did not follow the rules and did not listen. I got a bounce. Gonna write up this report on my earlier SCP-420-J test I ran. Wait a minute. You ran a test on SCP-420-J and didn't invite a brother? Come on, man. Why you gotta be like that? Rude. Share, buddy. Share. Dr. Sherman, how old are you? I am 39 years old. I'm not sure what relevance that has to your information gathering about the Foundation, but if you want to know for some reason, can you tell us about an SCP few people know about? An opportunity to highlight a lesser known, underrated article. Interesting. Okay. An article that I enjoy that I find to be underrated. Think through the database, there's so many articles. What if I checked over here, though? This is a good list of over 500 SCP readings on our channel, which means I know what they all are. Eat the Rich Fish, Holiday in Hell, Spooky Scary Snowman. All right. Today's underrated entity, little known. Let me double check its designation number to make sure that it is actually underrated and underknown. I know for a fact there's no memes about it. Yeah, less than 100 rating on the wiki, I will call this underrated. SCP-6564, codename Fight Baby. Object class Euclid. SCP-6564 is the animate skeleton of a currently unidentified female infant, approximately 60 centimeters in height, with the cause of death being unknown. The entity carries a small wooden sword and a wooden shield. 6564 exhibits a friendly and playful disposition, particularly enjoying interactive activities with D-Class personnel assigned for play sessions. These sessions are considered a vital component of 6564's containment and emotional well-being. During play sessions, 6564 engages in pretend combat with D-Class personnel, utilizing its wooden sword and shield. It displays an understanding of basic swordplay techniques and engages in playful battles without causing any harm. 6564 appears to derive enjoyment from these interactions and often giggles during play. But there's an incident log. On March 1st, 2021, during a routine play session, D9554 accidentally disarmed 6564, resulting in the transformation of 6564 into a larger skeletal form, approximately 2.5 meters in height. 9-foot tall skeleton. 6564's wooden equipment transformed into a metal sword and shield. At the same time, a small group of animate skeletons manifested in the containment chamber, forming a circle around the two of them, singing in Latin. Always a good sign. 6564 engaged in combat with D9554, demonstrating increased aggression and utilizing its new weapons. D9554 was incapacitated before security guards were able to intervene. Upon the defeat of D9554, 6564 reverted back to its original form and the other skeletons de-manifested. D9554 was severely injured but survived the incident. Following said incident, a small piece of paper was found on the table beside D9554's hospital bed with the following message written on it in crude handwriting. Congratulations on besting me, even though it was just in the first round. I hope you will come back for a second round. If you thought my second form was hard, then you should see my third form. You will soil that orange onesie of yours. Get well soon, Orange Knight, the 9,554th. That third form has to be fucking terrifying. All right, coming back to chat. Refreshing le chat. Oh, that reminds me, I got into good news and bad news. The good news is that we found the fourth form of 6564. The bad news is that site 155 is gone. Great. For science. Cross-test with Abel. All right. Intern ARG. I might need to pull some strings. But obviously, there is no SCP Fight Club where we could ever test such a thing. And so we definitely don't have rules about talking about a SCP Fight Club because it doesn't exist. But if it did exist in the gym on the 7th floor every other weekend, then perhaps something can be arranged. Curious. Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating again. K-Bye Sherm, I have to take 682 for its daily walk. You are going to get us all killed. We're going to be your Mary Sue character's tragic backstory. I just feel it. Oh. B Junior, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a jazz sandwich on your way past the commissary. Is there a BSCP? So, besides where everyone else is going to go about this, which is the famous tale on the wiki called Bees, and we will get to that, I think it's time to talk about some actual anomalies that are bees. There is Mary Had a Little Lamb, codenamed 2401, and that is a group of bees that can burrow into human subjects and turn the person into a hive, which is horrifying. I know for a fact that we actually have a photo of this one somewhere, as much as I hate it. Yes! Yes, actually, even worse for you. On the Site 42 YouTube channel, we have a guest contribution from our channel editor, Synthetic Alien, featuring horror YouTuber Creep Street, who starts looking like this. Come on, where's the quality marker? If you're going to see this, you're going to see it in high def and deal with... All right, that is the highest def. So, you want to see this on the SCP-2401 data logs? There's your sneak preview. Ugh, gives me the gibblies. Ugh. That is on this YouTube channel, SCP-2401, codename Mary Had a Little Lamb. Feel free to check it out later. Yes, apologies. There should have been a tryptophobia warning there. Yikes. Yikes. Oof, wait a second. I got a cramp in my leg. No, leg cramp. Stop, leg cramp. Don't do that to me. Ow, okay, we're back. Such a dangerous job it is. You should be thankful of my determination. It was the good leg desk, unfortunately. And what is tryptophobia? Tryptophobia is the fear of something having a bunch of little holes in it. So tryptophobia can be triggered by like pomegranates or beehives. Flappic, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, I used to watch your TikToks years ago. Well, intern Torres Cruz, welcome back to Site 42. You found your way through the algorithm to us. Let's close some of these tabs. Triple S, thank you for donating again. One more here for the road. 682 is pretty chill right now for the walk. SCP-682 and all other SCPs are objects, not people. They are its, not he's or she's. They are its. They're objects, not people. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. If we start calling them he's and she's, we might start humanizing them and then feel bad about imprisoning them for life or worse. So let's not go down that road, shall we? It and 999 were both involved in the 420-J test earlier. It was a cross test. See, I did share. It was inspired by 2 previous 420-J cross tests involving 999. You fool! The last time we gave SCP-682 the SCP-420-J, it took a big inhale and then mimetically blasted the stoned higher elevation status upon all the staff members around it, and then it breached containment. Oh, that's going to take so much cleanup! Man! Isn't Donald Trump an SCP or something? 2305. Donald J. Trump is not an SCP, but it is the containment procedures for SCP-5004. If you read the SCP-5004 document, I am not making this up. SCP-5004 is a demon that lives under the White House, and the only thing that could sap its energy was a reality sink like Donald John Trump. Now, the problem with being a reality sink is that in most people, it makes you actively stupid, which explains a lot about the current presidency. Honestly, I think it would have been better at this point to make Clef, another human reality sink, into president, so we wouldn't have to deal with this mess. Can we take SCP-294? Magai, you're over at Site 339. Let me check the rotation for 294. It's currently at Site 72. And it's not going to be requisitioned by 339, I believe you were. Yeah, 339. Until... Oh, actually, you guys get it next Tuesday. Lucky you. Yeah, it goes on your rotation starting next Tuesday for a week. Intern Lucas, 294 is the coffee machine that can dispense almost any liquid. B Junior, thank you for donating again. Where do you get the SCPs? Well, we usually find them. They're all over the place. And once we find them, we put them in containment boxes. Sometimes we or other people make them, and then those are where they come from. And then we, again, try to contain them. Hey Doc, do you have any info on 055? I went to see it for the life of me, I can't remember anything. And again, that's probably from the lack of sleep. Intern Drims, you need to get some more sleep because we don't even have an 055. What the hell are you talking about? Eggs the Snow Fox, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the research that you will help us do to win the battle against the white names. Welcome our new green name, everybody. Intern Cool. The number for my designation is SCP-426. I am a toaster, yes. Render, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some burnt ends on your way past the commissary. And for your consistency in chanting that Site Delta on top. Good work, Site Delta. I'm gonna get lost. This place is such a maze. You get used to it, Eggs. You get used to it. You better keep a map in your back pocket for a little while. How does the O5 permit you to stream on work hours? Because it's part of my work. I'm the site director. I'm supposed to reach out to staff and make sure you guys are on task for what you're doing for the day. So you have your marching orders. So you have the information you need to do your jobs. And so site director is more of a management position. I don't do so much containing these days, although I do deal with a lot of hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the Foundation's purview from you all. These hypotheticals help you to educate yourselves in how to function in containing anomalies here. Lucas, what you're talking about desk at, I can clarify very quickly. When you donate to Site 42 through Super Chats, YouTube takes 30% of that money as their fee. If you make the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which is hidden in the link that is pinned in the chat, Ko-Fi takes much less of a percentage, so it is a more direct donation and therefore more beneficial. And so that is why Desk offers the Ko-Fi link. That way you can donate through that venue if you so choose. It's a little more effort, but we do appreciate it when possible. So what do you do? Well, intern Finney, I'm the site director. I direct the site. Being a site director or being a director of a theater troupe or a movies team or a CEO is very much a jack of all trades kind of position. You need to know a little bit about everything. That way you can communicate with your staff effectively and help them to do their best. Leadership is something that is needed in a lot of places. Otherwise, the departments don't communicate well and they just fall apart. Raccoon Dog, thank you for donating again. Hey, Site Dad Director, got any more dad jokes today? Well, not off the top of my head, but give me a second. Maybe I can think of something. What if... While I do not have a dad joke on hand, I will recommend to you an SCP that is, in fact, a dad joke on its own. SCP-4590-J. SCP-4590-J, codename Japucha. Japucha, in case you were curious about the spelling. So, SCP-4590 is a male humanoid entity, 4590-J, is a male humanoid entity, does not display any outward physical anomalies, but is notable for its mode of dress. It wears a deerskin cloak and beach towels, and carries a walking stick at all times. Its face obscured by a beard and a wide-brimmed hat. It does just sound like Clef at the beach, but I'll continue. Additionally, 4590-J will always manifest covered in swamp weed and mud and make no attempts at cleaning itself. Again, just say it's Clef at the beach. But anyways. The -2s are a tribe of between 10 and 16 male and female humanoid entities. The -2 specimens will manifest with possessions and like bracelets and water skins. They will come out of the swamp on Friday evenings during the first week of June and the first week of August between the hours of 1900 and 2130. These manifestations are termed Armstrong events and are detailed in the log below. And so during this ritual, these -2 entities, there's about, like they said, there's about 10 of them. They manifest around 4590. And they all worship at the feet of 4590-J. And they all ask, "Oh, great Japucha Master, is it time for Japucha?" And then the Japucha Master sits and he thinks, no, it's not time yet. And then later on, they do a bunch of stuff, and then they go, Japucha Master, is it time now for Japucha? And all of them say, no, no, the Master says it's not time, the Master says it's not time, and they freak out some more. But then finally, the group asks the Master, is it now time for Japucha? And the Japucha Master, he says, yes, yes, it is time for Japucha. Come, come, my brothers and sisters, the Japucha begins. And they all stand in a circle, and all together they sing, Japucha right hand in, Japucha right hand out, Japucha right hand in, and you shake it all about. You should listen to the whole article, SCP-4590-J. We do have a reading on the channel, although it has been spoiled now. So yes, while I did not have a dad joke on hand, I did provide to you an entire SCP dad joke. You're welcome. Intern Finn, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Do you have any SCPs that are part of Halloween or have any connection to it? So, Intern Gonk, besides SCP-031-J, which is literally Halloween, I'm going to take you on a journey to the SCP Holiday Hub, where all of the SCPs that are about particular holidays are listed. So if we go to the holiday section, we have, oh my, quite a list. That is the Halloween list. So, I would say, yeah, we got some related anomalies. For more information on this and other anomalies, you can check out the SCP Foundation's Holiday Hub. Correct, Dr. Frogman. Don't Queer the Reaper is in fact a Halloween tale, because those Reapers take their vacation during the month of Halloween. Chat is refreshing. I have to go take a pair of Impossible Breach, but just to let you know, you should check out Secret Lab or Containment Breach sometime. Intern Nakamue, we have played both of them actually on this channel. You can find videos in our SCP Gaming playlist of our streams of Secret Lab and Containment Breach, although we haven't done much of them. I'm much better at yapping than I am at gaming, to be honest. Site 42 staff, let me allow you this notice. As a time check, we are currently at 100 minutes into this stream. An hour and 40 minutes out of our 3-hour stream. That means we have an hour and 20 minutes left. An hour and 20 minutes left. Intern Mafioso, what would happen if Peanut met Mallow? Didn't you already ask a question of this? Because it's going to have the same answer as before. I'm going to need you as a researcher to think. Yes, I did answer your question on this. You asked what 096 would do if Mallow saw its face. And again, Mallow can't be touched. So what's Peanut going to do? Think! Mafioso, think! I just looked at SCP-096's face. Well, Ray, I hope you have a nice funeral. Woo. Sorry, man, I just wondered how Peanut would react. Yes, and as your site director, I'm encouraging you to, as I said, think critically. We could do a lot more research and goal if all of our researchers thought of these lower level questions themselves so we could work on higher level questions. I'm using you as a teaching example. Everyone needs to learn to think about these matters their own selves. Critically think. Then we can think of higher level containment procedures. Orange Cloud, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a box of sugar bombs on your way past the commissary. Hello, boss. How was your day? Oh, it's been okay. Everything's gone according to plan. We're doing our best around here. We're working it out. Give me one moment, Dr. Chair. Keep them busy. All right. Sorry, I heard a sound. And you might be pleased to know that everything's fine. Nothing is ruined. And in fact, we just had a visit from a very peculiar interdimensional entity. I see. You can hear it right now, I bet. So, what you are hearing is an iteration of SCP-999 from a different dimension. A dimension where instead of a dog-like persuasion, it has a more cat-like persuasion, as well as a more cat-like shape. This is the 999 kitten. Oh, what a blessed visitation today. Little tail wagging everything. We got cat made waifu 999 before 2,500 members. That's funny. So yes, our little SCP-999 kitten has come to visit. All right, scooch around, little one. We'll see you later. Can I eat Cat 999? Well, as you can tell, it is much smaller than an average 999. Our universe's 999 is 2 meters by 1 meter. That's a very large slime. This one is the size of your palm, so I imagine you probably could. But I'm going to tell you, undiluted 999 tickles all the way through you, is what our testing shows. I don't think you're going to like it. Is there a Monster Energy Drink SCP? Well, Intern Lovato, we do not have, to my knowledge, a specific Monster Energy Drink. But we do have an SCP called SCP-3238. Codename Dedo Juice. It is an energy drink brand created by person of interest and parapharmacologist Dedo. And Dedo's energy drink comes in 3 flavors: fire, radioactive, and sphere in motion. And if you drink the fire energy drink, you will be set on fire. If you drink the radioactive, you will become completely radioactive and die. And if you drink the sphere in motion, you will fly, which does not do good for the human body. What the hell? Where did this come from? Well, maybe we do have an SCP energy drink. I'll take this over to containment staff later and we'll see how the hell that showed up here. Huh. I think SCP-096 beats all. That is not even close to true. There are many entities that can defeat 096 in combat. But of course, we then would not be able to research it anymore because it would be gone, which is why we don't destroy anomalies. Could SCP-096 be able to kill somebody who can respawn after death? Well, being able to respawn doesn't make them any stronger, so yes, easily. And then, if they come back to life, then 096 is going to kill them again, because they still know what it looks like. So, that's just going to be the new state of being for a while. To correct you, there have been several termination attempts on 096, one of which involves 173. Yes, I am quite familiar with the multiverse and the there is no canonness of SCP. Do not quote the old magic to me. I was there when it was written. In some universes we tried, and it didn't work. In some universes we did find a way. But after that one universal launched 096 into the sun, and then the sun started moving toward Earth, plenty of universes do not plan on continuing to test that. I am SPC 999, also known as 666. I don't know that the Shark Punching Center has a 999 or a 666. Shark Punching Center database. They have a 993, Bobble the Clown Shark. And they have a 682, Estival Outlander. So no, the Shark Punching Center doesn't have any of those database entries, intern Hulls. So I think you might be a little confused. Dr. Sherman, last time I checked, I couldn't find anything about if SCP-4666 could survive 096. What do you think would happen? Well, the thing is, 4666 can teleport. So I don't know what it can do in combat. We've never seen it do combat, but we do know that it can just teleport to the other side of the world. And 096 is fast, but it's still going to take time to run on foot to the other side of the world. And by the time 4666 got there, it would leave. And so it would just chase him around, chase the old man around, and then every city it walks through that sees its face would be decimated. So, terrible idea. Is the Infinite IKEA safe in a 001 scenario? Well, intern Crusher, I don't know which 001 you're talking about, so it's a little vague. You're going to need to elaborate. Intern Gaster, while I appreciate that you are, quote, the man who talks in hands and Wingdings is not an available font on YouTube chat, we do have rules against spamming emojis, so please speak in standard English. Mafioso, intern Mafioso. The first SCP ever written is SCP-173. Written on 4chan in 2007, it inspired so many SCPs of other numbers to be written that the whole group had to move to their own wiki to post them all. And that is where the SCP wiki we know today comes from. Can we use other languages? My moderator only speaks English, so you have to speak at least 99% in English. You can use a word in a different language if it is an exclamation of some sort, but that is the most acceptable. Intern Haddon. The SCP Foundation is a Creative Commons community. That means all of its characters can be used and reused in any manner as long as the art is reusable from you as well. So if you want to draw me as a spoon, then as long as you release that artwork via the same Creative Commons license as the rest of the SCP works have to be, then yes, you can do whatever you want with the Dr. Sherman character. Intern Haven, I'm glad you appreciate our work. We're doing our best out in these streets to make good SCP videos and content and streams so people get into the SCP community and enjoy the works of that artist community. More art and people more enjoying the art is always a good thing. The bread gods seek control of the French Holy Land. Intern Bread, you are so far off base, it's silly. Read SCP-3305. Bread Jesus, who we have actively in containment, is not trying to take over France. The only thing that Bread Jesus seems to have a problem with is Wonder Bread. Karem, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Hashtag Allison, oh my god, you are live. Correct. Welcome to, I guess, one of the first lives you've been to for Site 42. And we are currently at the 2-hour time check of a 3-hour stream for the day, so 1 hour left. But in case you are new here, welcome to Site 42's live streams once a day. I, Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation, go live for 30 minutes to 3 hours a day, depending on the day, to answer your questions about the SCP Foundation. So we are live right now. We will be for a little while longer. Get your questions in. If you want a guaranteed answer, you can donate and I will get it to you much quicker. Otherwise, I answer the questions that I find interesting. So if you've asked your question 100 times and I haven't answered it, maybe think of a better question. What's the most recently SCP number? That's hard to say, Dark Demon Game. Actually, it's not at all hard to say. On the SCP Wiki, if you go to the top, if you go to the homepage, and then you go to the sidebar, there is a feed called the New Pages feed. And you can literally see the newest SCP pages at posting. And so the most recent SCP article on the database is SCP-9071, which was posted 1 hour ago. And is already at a +20, so it seems to be well liked. Also, it's incredibly short. Hey, who wants to read the very newest SCP on stream? Right now. I know you do. Here we go. SCP-9071 by Kathy Autumn and Floorboards. Codename Chick Archive. Codename Chick Archive. And by the way, Syme and Guy with Cannon, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. So yes, 9071, the Chick Archive. Let's go. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-9071 is held in the standard safe class storage locker within Site 433. While in storage, SCP-9071 is always to be placed facing down, with its blank side up. During testing, 9071 may be attached to any surface using Scotch tape. Description: SCP-9071 is a 21 by 27 centimeter sheet of laminated printer paper on which a picture of a cage of chicks is printed on one side. The opposite side is blank. When 9071 is attached to a surface through any means, all sentient beings who view it become convinced that 9071 is not a laminated sheet of paper, but is rather an actual cage full of living chicks. And here's a picture of SCP-9071. Picture taken by the clerk of your pal Pete's Birds, Fish, and Reptiles. Viewers will react to SCP-9071 as though the associated stimuli are present, describing smells, sounds, movement, and the behaviors of the specific chicks in vivid detail. If 9071 is viewed through a live secondhand visual source, such as recorded video, viewers will still be subjected to its properties. And I agree, I see this photo, and it is still very cute. This delusion and subsequent hallucinations are shared across all viewers and can affect viewers even with high cognitive resistance to mimetic cognitohazardous anomalies. 9071's effects can only be prevented by informing an individual of the anomaly's nature. 9071 will then permanently lose its ability to influence that individual. When viewed through alternate second-hand sources, such as pictures see attached above, 9071's effects will not be triggered. Okay, then I just thought the picture was cute. Fine. Incident report. On October 19th, 2025, a foul smell was reported emanating from 9071's containment locker by junior researcher Sarah Keel. SCP-9071 was removed, and a small chamber approximately the same size as 9071 was found behind it. It was opened, and the corpses of over 200 chicks in various states of decay, some over 2 years old, were found inside. It was determined this was the source of the smell. The chamber was cleaned by janitorial staff. Each of the individual corpses are under testing to determine any secondary anomalous properties. 9071 has been relocated to a different containment locker. Pictures of food and water have been placed on the wall next to it. Pictures of food and water have been placed on the wall next to it. God damn it. Specifically, I am calling out to Bread Jesus in this case, because these false baby chicks need to feast. So, Yep, okay, at the end of the day, I have considered it. And this is an upvote from me as well, bringing this to a rating 22. Woo! Alrighty. Chat is refreshing since I've come back to the browser. I'm reporting you to the O5 Council. Yes, please do. Tell them what a good job I'm doing educating our staff about SCPs. I'm sure they would love to give me a gold star or something. Can I give SCP-999 a Red Bull? I will end your entire existence if you hand that slime a Red Bull. Can I make an SCP Dr. Sherman? Anybody can make an SCP as long as they become a member of the SCP Wiki. And there's a whole process for joining the Wiki and writing your first SCP, and it is all found in the top of the sidebar on the homepage of the SCP Wiki. You will find the guide for newbies, and it has all the introductory info you need to become a productive member of the SCP writing community. How do we know there is an anti-meme? Well, intern Crusher, it depends on the particular effects of the anti-meme. There's some anti-memes that you can't perceive them at all, but you can write down and recall details about them. There's some anti-memes where you can interact with them, but then you can't remember it after the fact. And even written notes, you can read them, but then you won't remember. So it really depends on the particular anti-memetic object or entity you are considering speaking about. Wait, Dr. Sherman, why is 9999 untakeable? Dr. Frogman, Desk has informed me that they might be doing a special contest later on for 9999 because it is the very last slot before the 10,000. So I think they're doing it special. I have not seen anything too deep on it, so I am only going with the rumors that I've heard. Important question. Scipio Africanus or Hannibal Barca? Dr. Frogman, I don't know what any of those things are. But on face value, one of them has the term skip in it, so it automatically wins. You saw nothing. Do we have SCP-5514, the Dragon Slayer, in this dimension? Yes, Intern Jensen, the Dragon Slayer is available for use in kaiju battles. It's not available for standard rentals, unless you have a very particular authorization code. Interns Crazy and Evdog, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Are there any cat SCPs? Well, Intern Lily, we could always just go with Josie the Half-Cat, but there are other cat anomalies that could use some more love. For instance, let me see if I can just find a couple here. Show them. SCP-3487, codename, Cats Think the World Rotates Around Them. In SCP-3487, cats think the world revolves around them. SCP-3487. SCP-3487 is a cat. Despite having been in Foundation custody for all of known Foundation history, standard tissue testing repeatedly confirms that it has physical and biological attributes consistent with that of an 8-month-old cat. Its true age is unknown. It displays familiar resistance against physical harm to other house cats, though it is capable of accelerated regeneration and regrowth of all body parts. So it's hypothesized that 3487 cannot die. When it moves, SCP-3487's anomaly activates. 3487 will, in actuality, stay completely still as measured relative to celestial bodies other than Earth, but will rewrite known history such that it has always been at its current location. It is hypothesized that the Foundation was not originally founded with SCP-3487 as one of the first objects in containment, but that it managed to find a way into Site-179 and rewrote history to accommodate this. So it is a cat that literally the entire course of our history revolves around. You could also go with SCP-5610. Codename to put a cat on your head. It's an anomalous entity that only is observable by individuals with cognitive resistance values of 5.6 and above. Approximately 56% of Japan's population has been found to have an instance of SCP-5610 resting atop their head. However, no discomfort is felt by the subject these instances are resting on. As a subject's behavior in public becomes more congruent to their behavior in private, the instance of 5610 becomes increasingly detailed. This continues until it produces one of two results. Either the instance would vanish, or in approximately 6% of all cases, it transforms into a non-anomalous cat and jumps off the subject's head. SCP-5610 is prominently featured in haikus. Living authors, when questioned, remember it. Notable ones are translated below. And here is a 20th century painting focusing on SCP-5610. And so here are some haikus about the cats on your head. It is humankind to put a cat on the head to love and hate swords. By Oda Nobunaga, the year 1580. When a child suckles, the cat inside him also does, partnered on rough paths. By Basho, the year 1672. Are we not all cats, on heads of weak chatting mice, or hardened tigers? By Imiri Takagata, 1923. To the barrack bed, an old cat jumps from my head, meowing with pity. Jou Takamiki, 1944. And this goes on for a while, but there are a lot of cat haikus. So yes, there is a smattering of cats, as well as Desk and Amber have pointed out in the chat. SCP-8320, codename 700 Million Wizards, in which every single cat on Earth turned into a humanoid wizard. One day for no reason, I guess. And we had to shoot them all in the head to make them turn into cats again. Grace, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a box of Milk Duds on your way past the commissary. I think Archie Sonic can beat all SCPs. How do you? No. Due to the Pataphysics Division, the SCP Foundation could end up on a higher narrative level than Sonic the Hedgehog, rip the comic book in half, and be done. Sonic the Hedgehog only has a very scant amount of pataphysical feats versus the Foundation and or SCP-3812. Not going to happen. Anything that can jump a pataphysical narrative level is unbeatable by any fictional character. Robin, thank you for your 15-month member message as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site 42. You are well on your way to that 1.5-year mark. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hey, Dr. Sherman, if you were to start a D&D campaign as a player, what species and classes would you play? I'm currently a High Elf Swashbuckler, level 4, Wizard level 5. Funny story, I usually play Half-Elf Swashbucklers. So, I'm pretty much right there with you. Amber, that's true. I do typically more often play bards, but if I'm not going to play a bard, I'm playing a swashbuckler, because pirates. Bard, rogue, swashbuckler. There we go. Best of both worlds. Everything except my author avatar, who canonically got the shit beat out of him behind a 7-Eleven by my OCs. Well, yes, because that's your author avatar and not the author itself. Yes, it's in-universe and can get its ass kicked. But the characters can't kick your ass except for emotionally. Also, see Researcher Talaran, the rare fictional entity that defeated its author in combat. Who are you? Well, your name is in symbols I can't read. What an interesting question. For all mankind. But in this kind, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And I'm currently streaming to Foundation staff to answer their questions about the anomalies we contain, and the groups of interest who try and stop us from containing them, and the staff who's so good at containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview. Perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. And we currently have about 45 minutes left in this stream. I love turtles. Good for you. We have many an anomalous turtle in the SCP Foundation, it turns out. Anomalous turtles out the wazoo. Turtle. Oh wow, the Search the Wiki has changed forms yet again. Okay, cool. Of Turtle Time and the Hare is a newer tale. SCP-107 is a turtle shell that if you pour a liquid on it, it begins raining that liquid. And so that can be very useful for a lot of things. There's also SCP-7053, codename Sherman the Turtle Tank. And it is a 28,000 kilogram, 4 meter tall giant tortoise with artillery cannons on its back. It is a giant tortoise tank named Sherman. Raccoon Dog, thank you for donating again. If you had to eliminate 2 groups of interest, which ones and why? Well, the insurgency is definitely one of the biggest thorns in our side, because they literally keep attacking our bases. So they're one of them. They're one of them. There's nothing good about the Chaos Insurgency. Let me pull up the GOI list and see which of the other ones I would add to that list. Alexova University, Ambrose Restaurants, Anderson Robotics, Arcadia. Are we cool yet? The Black Queen, the Chaos Insurgency, the Chicago Spirit, the Children of the Scarlet King, the Church of the Broken God, Church of the Second High Toth, the Commission on Unusual Cargo, the Davites, Deer College, Dr. Wondertainment, the Factory, the Fifth Church, Gamers Against Weed, the Global Occult Coalition, Gold Baker Rhines Unlimited, Griesberger Incorporated. That's new, I haven't seen that before. GRU Division P, Herman Fuller Circus of the Disquieting, Horizon Initiative, IGMA, Just Girly Things, Mana Charitable Foundation, Marshall Carter and Dark Limited, Medician Academy of Occult Art, Nobody, the Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts, Honorai Collective, Parawatch, Pseudogenesis Productions, Prometheus Labs Incorporated, Sarkic Cults, The Serpent's Hand, Shark Punch, Xander, 3 Moons Initiative, Totally Soft, Unusual Incidents Unit, Valraven Corporation, Vikander Need Technical Media, The Wandsman, and Wilson's Wildlife Solutions. That's a lot of groups of interest, and of the ones right there, There are some that I've never seen on this list before. They've definitely added some more. They've definitely added some more recently. When was the last edit? 63 days ago. Who was added 63 days ago? It doesn't say. Curiouser and curiouser. Okay, well, of this group and of the ones I know of this group, besides the Chaos Insurgency who need to go, I'm gonna go with... the Chaos Insurgency, but even harder. Everyone else here has a purpose and a use, and sometimes we can collaborate with them. The Chaos Insurgency are just so dicks that they're the only ones I'd actually want to erase from reality twice over. Now I'm resetting the chat so I can see you guys again. Wait, is Dr. Entertainment a group or a person? I thought he was a person, not a group. Intern Heike. The Dr. Wondertainment is both an entity and a corporation. So Dr. Wondertainment, the toy maker, has a group because it has a corporation that works under it. So, both. I just like crowbars. Listen, it's no business of mine if you go out drinking with crows, okay? That is between you and your social life. Isn't GRU Division P defunct because the Soviets are defunct? Intern Banana Lord, there's still some fragments of GRU Division P out there doing things here and there. They're definitely not as strong as they were, but there's little patches around. No, I don't drink with crows. I mean crowbar metal weapons, Dr. Sherman. Hey, intern Lugia, I don't mean to shame you. I don't think you have a drinking problem. You don't have to hide anything from us. This is a safe place, okay? Then, you know, crows, very clever, wonderful drinking partners. If you ever have a chance to go out and have a drink with a crow, far be it from me to stop you. It's an enjoyable experience. Just, I'm not here to shame you about your hobbies. Come on. Researcher Monk, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hello, Dr. Sherman. How are you today? I'm doing okay. We're getting close to the end of stream, and then I'm just going to finish up today's test and chill. Crow Doctor, SCP-049. Lily, no, you got it backwards. SCP-049 is a plague doctor, but not actually a crow. But Dr. Kane Pathos Crow, who is in fact a dog and not a crow, is still someone nice to have a chat with. Although, I don't know if Dr. Crow's dog body processes alcohol properly. I will have to speak with Dr. Crow about that later. Hi, Dr. Sherman. Today was my first stream in a while. Glad to be back on here. Meow Log, welcome back. Good to see you again. You know, I stream every single day, so I see you guys come and go, but it's good to have you back on site. Hope you're doing well. Dr. Sherman, what do you do in your free time? What's that? I'm unfamiliar with the term. Terragal, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some stroopwafel on your way past the commissary. Help, the Global Occult Coalition is chasing me. Well, Foxpax & Co. is also running from an errant Global Occult Coalition team, although they turned out to be disguised as gawksuckers. Either way, meet up with Foxpax & Co. They'll cover your back. Your hair seems to have changed color. Is that the effect of an anomaly? No, intern Liz. This is simply the work of our on-site stylist who does excellent work. On top of which, reminder that we have a membership goal here on the channel. If we have 2,500 green names, that means that we are going to dye my hair pink. However long that takes to get to, if you want to see that happen, that's what the chat asks for, and so that's what we're going with. Opinion on the Surrealistics department. I think they're impossible to talk to. Oh, yeah. Tell them next time you see them that their mauve table leg is shiny. And they'll pretty much do anything with you. They love when you say that. Intern... That's not cool. When is the next live stream? Well, every day we stream. But the question is, we don't know what time the stream is going to be. It could be early, it could be late, it could be midday. The lab schedule gets pretty chaotic. So we stream when we can for how long we can. What you want to do is you want to hit the bell when you subscribe to get notified by YouTube. Although that is kind of risky because YouTube doesn't always tell you. If you are 18 years or older, you are welcome to find and join the Site42 Discord server. We have a live alert role that you can take on there, and I ping the live alert every day as soon as we go live. So that is the best way to stay tuned as to when we are going live each day. We have been streaming daily for 6 months and a couple days on top of that, and counting. Actually, no, it's 6 months and 8 days now. Wee-haw! If you are going to go hunting for that Discord server, make sure you follow the rules and make sure you are over the age of 18. If you are not, then do not do that because it's against the rules to be a youngin'. The SCP is an adult community full of graphic violence and sexual content. And so you never know what you're going to run into, so to be safe and cover our asses, we got to keep everything 18 and above. How do you keep the stream secret? Well, intern Artful, we have a deal going with YouTube's parent company's parent company. YouTube is owned by Google, which is part of the Alphabet company. And so we have dealings going on in the back channels of the algorithm that make sure that we are only broadcast to either SCP Foundation staff members, like most of you. We also go to staff members on more encrypted channels if they are double agents within a group of interests. So if you're spying on the Serpent's Hand for us, you can still see these broadcasts. If you are a sleeper agent for the Foundation, you didn't know you were an agent, but you're just waking up, your dossier of instructions is under your seat, and good luck on your mission, agent. The only place where civilians are able to see our broadcasts is in universes, as part of the multiverse, where the masquerade is broken, where the veil has been receded, so that humanity at large knows about the anomalous as well as knows about the Foundation. And in that case, these are public relations broadcasts for the civilians to understand what a good job the Foundation's doing and why they should keep supporting us containing and researching the anomalous. Monk, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a Red Bull Zero Carb on your way past the commissary. Those are sweetened with monk fruit, I read somewhere. This will be my first donation to Site 42. I love all of Site 42 and wish you all the best. Well, thank you very much, Monk. We appreciate your donations. Direct donations do help keep the lights on, and so we appreciate you greatly for your generosity. Feel free to hang out and enjoy the Site 42 stuff as long as you want to. We've been around for 10 years, and we're going to keep on trucking. Intern Tails, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Do SCPs get moved around, or do they have permanent sites they stay at? Most anomalies are kept permanently in their containment chambers on sites, but there is sometimes need to move them around to testing facilities for research purposes, and so we have a whole department for transference. Wow, there are thousands of flowers everywhere. What a beautiful sight. Everywhere I go, I see the grass covered in flowers. In fact, the grass seems replaced by the flowers. What a surprising event. All right. Everyone say bye-bye to Slendy Tubby. They will be missed, as will the rest of their world. Is it scary to be an SCP worker, Dr. Sherman? Intern Mafioso, we are the best of the best of the best, but we are also dealing with the unknown. And the unknown always brings with it anxiety and fear. But that's what we do here in the dark. We bring a light of knowledge, of research, of security, containment, and protection to the world. So yes, it is scary as hell, but we fix things regardless. Rachel Bateman, thank you for your 1-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership, your service, and your generosity. Since you didn't leave a member message, we'll just say thank you very much. What's your favorite SCP? Mine's SCP-096. Intern Allison, I always, as a tradition in these streams, tell you guys my favorite SCPs at the end of stream, which time-wise is about 25 minutes. So if you want to hang around for 25 minutes, I will list all my SCP favorites as is tradition. Or someone send me a donation to do it early. I'm willing to do that. Or if you want to super cheat, you can go to yesterday's stream VOD and skip to the end and see them there. So it depends on how desperate you want to know. I just signed up for being a SCP worker at Site 43. I'm not sure I'm safe now. Well, Site 43 is a well-beloved site at the Foundation. So if you're signing up for Site 43, say hi to Dr. Blank for me. Blake, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a fried egg on your way past the commissary. Eldridge deity check in to say hi. You know, I'm not familiar with any entities from the Eldridge area. I'll have to check into Eldridge. Der Kaiser, thank you for your thank you for your 4-month member message as a level 1, as a mobile task force captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the combat that you've done to help us win the battle against the White Names. Good afternoon, Doctor. How well do you think the Foundation would do in the Fallout universe? Well, I mean, we'd basically be the Institute, wouldn't we? And so that really depends on what the Sole Survivor felt like doing, huh? Because, yeah, we are basically the Institute. And that mostly went pretty well for us. Mostly went pretty well. Blake, thank you for donating again. Freaking autocorrect. Outer God saying hi. Oh, not Eldridge. Eldritch. I see. Okay. And I imagine with all of those tentacles that you're having a lot of trouble dealing with a cell phone or keyboard interface. So, you know, that's fine. That's fine. So yes, good to see you. Hope you've been well and properly contained. You look much older than last time I saw you, which was like 3 years ago. I don't know if it's the hair or not. Well, in the last 3 years, I've started growing out the facial hair. And so that's added some age. I've changed the way I did my hair. The colors are making it aren't de-aging me. I actually was doing gray hair to look even older previously, but just decided to dye it for color's sake. That, and I have put on a little bit of bulk from a winter with a messed up ankle where I had to stop going to the gym. But thankfully, we're getting back in shape with the Foundation Fitness Initiative and proper rehab, so hopefully I'll be back in fighting shape soon enough. And either way, time comes for us all, does it not? Aren't fingers just rigid tentacles anyways? Desk, why would you do this? Aaron Cooper, welcome to Site 42 staff as a level 1 researcher. We appreciate your membership and your service, especially the research you'll help us do to win the battle against the White Names. We welcome you to the Green Name Corps. It's very scary when I stare into the camera. Why are you so afraid of intimacy? Why do you fear human connection? It's more of a you thing, I believe. I mean, unless you've given me a reason to be cross with you, then I can clearly understand why you don't want me looking directly at you. Watch yourself. Dr. Sherman, I'm glad you don't hate us fifths since you didn't delete them, even though we know they want to bring fifth dation. There is still plenty of good research to be done on fifth dis. Anomalies, that is all. Blake, thank you for donating again. Also, Eldridge is an actual pantheon, but most of them are just party gods. Now I'm confused even more. Did you accidentally mistype Eldritch again? Or did you mean Eldridge this time? Interesting. I never knew this. The word Eldritch is just meaning weird and sinister or ghostly. Huh. That's less than I thought it was. Interesting. Ghost Wolf, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some fine mutton on your way past the commissary. Damn, was wondering when I'd see you again. Well, welcome back. Anyways, where's that paper on Object 4709? We got it in from the Himalayas last spring. 4709, you say? (4709) codename. At the risk of sounding repetitive. I'm sorry, did you say you found this in the Himalayas last spring? A temporal and spatial instability within the Grand Tahoe Resort and Hotel near Tahoma, California. Although the effects of the anomaly are wholly contained within the building, the presence of the hotel itself is anomalous and is said to be considered an inert component of the object. Exposure to 4709 results in rapid fluctuation of baseline reality, including the inconsistent passage of time, an inconsistent internal topography, alterations of fundamental constants, and involuntary ontokinesis, otherwise known as reality bending. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but this is not necessarily an object so much as an anomalous location and time anomaly. Yeesh. But yes, the database entry for 4709 is there for your reading. Blake, thank you for donating again. The second, I actually meant what I said this time. Okay, so you're saying Eldridge is an actual pantheon. Eldridge pantheon. I have to disagree. Based on any database searches, the only thing I see is Eldritch being a pantheon of deities. Blake, I need some more intel if you've got it, because if your universe's pantheon of gods is different, then I am certainly curious about what you got going on. Crisp, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a hearty stew on your way past the commissary. Good evening, Doctor. Hypothetically, if SCP-5001-A and SCP-2264-5 fought, who would you have winning? 5001-A versus 2264-5. All right, well, let me double check who we got here. Sacrosanct is the code name for our first entity. And from the Court of Allegata, wonderful. Love dealing with them. dash one. Yes, what did... God, it's been so long since I've read Sacrosanct. Reality Anchors. Hold on a second. Hold on. Dang it. $5,001-1. It's a dash A, isn't it? It's a dash A. I was going for dash 1, that's why I couldn't find Jack. Gosh darn it. I wish there was a more solid codification of dash 1s and dash A's. Biomechanical structure, 53 kilometers. Dash A status, dating back to then. Primary purpose. Object or entity that 5001 is containing. 5001-A's appearance, properties, and anomalous effects are entirely unknown. Large explosions. Internal Hume levels. More Humes, more Humes. It's more real, it's more real. It's more real, it's more real. It's more real. It's even more real. It is very, very, very real. It is intensely real. And it doesn't care about explosions. Okay. So, you know, that's a lot. And let's go into... Is this? That's light. Okay. That was weird. And then the other one you want is 2264-5-5-5-5. La-de-la-de-la-de-la-de-la-de. La-de-la-de-la-de-la-de-la-de. 2264-5. The ambassador of Alagata and the king of Alagata have been respectively classified as 2264 and 2264-5. So the king of Alagata versus the Omega. The king of Alagata versus the Omega. The king of Alagata versus the Omega. The goal of the operation was to locate them and calculate the level of threat. And what was the level of threat? Doobie-doobie-doobie, doobie-doobie-doo. You gave me some quite complicated anomalies to scale to here based on their entities. Let's see if I can find anything else. King of Alagata. Main antagonist, powerful being. Do-do-do-do-do. Cannot move away from his place in Alagata, having to use the ambassador to travel across creation. Apparently only being able to manifest in the human world through 701. The ambassador has power over the Allegorians. Unborn children were transformed into pattern screamers. Great. Hanging King, through his art pieces, can induce pregnancy into anyone. Shaping news to strangle the host, and apparently could even erase the memories of others. Still weaker than the Scarlet King, and for this reason presumably fell to his service, though other legends depict him as equal to the Scarlet King, and often even superior to him. So, that means nothing. You just said all of the things there. It's weaker, but it could be equal, and also stronger. Ugh. And then SCP 5001 Omega. All right. If we're tiering Allegata to SK, I've got to consider that it's probably stronger than Omega, if only because we interacted directly with Omega, and we don't even get to interact directly with the King and all that very often. Also, by the laws of pataphysics, because King of Allegata has a lot more stories about it, it probably has more faith and or willpower from the pataphysical situation. So that's probably going to be it. Chat is refreshing so I can catch up. That was a long and complicated question, Crisp. Thank you for putting my brain to bleeding work. Terragal, thank you for donating again. I shocked those gawk suckers with lightning and they were unaffected. Where do they get armor that can withstand that kind of amperage? I am also quite shocked by this statement. No, because what they would do is they would have some sort of thaumaturgy that redirects it so it doesn't actually interact with them. That's not too shocking, but that means you do have a high-level magic troop with you, so you really got to get the hell out of Dodge, because they would be capable of taking you down then. Get the hell out of there. Desk, make sure not to delete 6-7s on site if they're talking about the actual SCP-067. Hair trigger, I understand. Hey there, found your channel a little while ago and I was wondering if you could give me a lore breakdown of everything. SCPs sound cool, but I don't quite understand. Could you help? Intern Blue, you're at the right place. Let me make this very simple for you. The SCP Foundation is a creative writing community and universe created by thousands of authors. And they're all focused around a universe where there is a secret organization called the SCP Foundation. And just so you guys know, we say the SCP Foundation because everyone else says it, but in universe, they're only called the Foundation. Yes, we have special containment procedures, and yes, we have secure, contain, protect as our motto, but we're just called the Foundation. But so many people have said SCP Foundation that if we don't say it, people don't know what we're talking about. Really weird how that happened. But anyways, everything in the Wiki universe has something to do with the SCP Foundation, whether it be the anomalies they contain or research, or groups that are against them, or even the universe called Unfounded, where the SCP Wiki never existed. It's that universe without the Foundation. So it's still centered around what the Foundation-less universe is like. And so there's so much lore, very similar like comic books, you can't hope to read it all, but find content creators who talk about it and you enjoy them. Find friends who enjoy the SCP stuff and then swap stories with them that you guys like. And of course, read the wiki itself. There's a whole bunch of news stories there every day. And by the way, chat, we are currently 5 minutes from the end of stream. I'm wrapping up the last donos, and then we're set to go. Blue, I'm glad to hear you're going to go exploring, and let me know if you have any questions. We stream daily for that exact reason. Site 42 is here for you. Blake, thank you for donating again. Oh, sorry, they're not Earth gods. No human has ever worshipped them. Oh, I see. So the Eldridges are from a different plane. Excellent. Not our problem, at least, I hope. Ghost Wolf, thank you for donating again. That isn't there. Strange. I guess our interconnection is acting up again across the interdimensional webs. Toodaloo. You know, there is no canon, and multi-universal shenanigans ruin everything very often. Intern Hunter, I'm glad to hear that we are your favorite SCP YouTuber. It feels good to be appreciated, and we're glad our work appeals to you. Did someone say lore? Yes. How do I upload something to the SCP Wiki? Well, intern Jaimin, you should go to the SCP Wiki's homepage, and in the top left corner of the sidebar, you'll see the guide for newbies. And that is exactly where you are going to learn how everything works on the SCP Wiki. Give it your best. So we hear you filed God as an SCP. Oh, he's going to hate that. Well, not intern, your green name, Lucifer. It depends on which God you're talking about. There's so many of them. All over the place. I mean, we have 5 Jesuses in containment. 5 Jezi! We have 029-J, Uber Driver Jesus. 3305, Bread Jesus. 5991, Vor Jesus, 6542, Milk Jesus, and 4477, Cockblock Jesus. Cockblock Jesus! Jesus! And that's not counting all the Greek gods, all the Roman gods, which are just the Greek gods with different names, all the Norse gods in containment. I mean, just yesterday, we frickin' created gods out of all of the planets in the solar system up to Saturn. We turned Saturn and Jupiter and Mars and Mercury and Venus into gods. By accident. Too many gods. Ghost Wolf Primal, thank you for donating again. Honestly, Doc, it's nice to see a creative and decent streamer on here. Oh no, I gotta refresh the browser so I can see what you said the rest of the way. Give me just a second. Although I appreciate the compliments at the start. Well, thank you kindly from the very start of that. It's nice to see a creative and decent streamer on here. Keep up the work, my guy. Good night. Well, much obliged. We're doing our best around these parts. At the end of the day, what my author above would say, and don't say it, I'm going to say it for you. Hurts so bad when he takes over. At the end of the day, making art is what's the most important thing in the world. To many people, they don't even know it yet. But all of the science and STEM and mathematics that you learn, as Robin Williams said, God rest him in Dead Poet Society, art and poetry is why we want to live. To enjoy, to feel, to do good things, to create. And so yes, we have jobs and we make money and we do science to help ourselves live. But art and beauty and life and poetry is why we live. And so, with that, if I can inspire you guys and inspire people to, will inspire to make art and create and make more beautiful things in the world, I will have done a good job, I believe. And so thank you for appreciating our work as well. I'm not talking to you. Blake, thank you for donating again. You didn't mention us outer gods. Well, really, the outer gods aren't so much in containment as we are keeping them locked out of our universe by stopping rituals that summon them. Most of the time, we can't actually contain the outer gods, so I don't really count them as contained. You know what I mean? Now, there is the fact that we do contain at least one Cthulhu, 2662. But that's a teenage Cthulhu. That one's not even of age to have a cult yet, so it's different. Woo-wee! Okay, Site 42 staff, it is now end of stream time. And at the end of stream, as is tradition around these parts, I tell you my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you that the SCPs I personally wrote are my favorite. That would be cheating. I, of course, love the SCP documents I wrote. And you can see those at the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you'll find the SCPs I personally wrote, and you'll find some that I did voice lines for, or audio effects, stuff like that as well. And one tab over from those SCPs I wrote, you'll find a list of links. Links that people are very often interested in finding, but they do not do a good enough job looking for. And so, if you are brave enough, strong enough, intrepid enough to find your way to those links, you might be very pleased with yourselves. And while we're at it, at those links, you can become a Site 42 Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. Or you can do Ko-Fi donations or YouTube Super Chats to donate to us once at a time. Either way, we appreciate it very much. Direct donations help us keep the lights on here. And even if you cannot donate, that is fine. We understand broke gang life. Trust me, we're an arts community. Starving artist is a stereotype for a reason. But if you are here in chat, chatting, if you are commenting on our videos, if you are liking, sharing, subscribing, watching, all that YouTube business, then you are helping boost us in the YouTube algorithm, and that makes you an honored and valuable member of Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename The Signal Boosters. And whether it's just helping Site 42 grow so we can bring people into the SCP community to help the SCP authors, artists, animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, etc., to boost SCP projects, because Netflix and Amazon will never make them because of the Creative Commons. We have to do it ourselves, damn it! I appreciate your help in that, and anytime we find a good SCP project to support, I will give you the signal, and you will boost it! You'll go give them the algorithm treatment, and then they'll go, oh wow, the SCP community is very friendly and helpful. Maybe we'll make more stuff for them. And then they are snared in our trap of art and joy and creativity forever. Where was I? Oh yes. So Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename Signal Boosters, we thank you for your service in this endeavor. Meanwhile, let me just point out Aaron Cooper. Beyond becoming a member today on YouTube, thank you for becoming a Patreon patron as well. We appreciate your double dose of helping us keep the channel alive. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it is a rough read. Woo. Speed round. 3999304308-J, Spooky-J, 5031517553208980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Site 42 staff, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, Mobile Task Force Psi 42, codename Signal Boosters. Thank you so much for being here today. As always, I have been Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site 42, and this has been Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next stream, but before we go, one last thing, question for you guys. The lighting looks weird to me. Maybe it's just because I'm staring at my own face for so much of this stream. So tell me this. This is lighting setup 1, which I think is neutral. Now this is lighting setting 2, which is cool. And this is lighting setting 3, which is warm. So neutral, whoa. Is that 4 settings? What the hell? I thought it had 3. I'm going crazy. No! Okay, this has to be cool. This has to be warm. This is very warm. And this is neutral. Cool, warm, neutral. Warm, I think, is the worst one. I think it looks very yellow. I don't like warm. I think neutral is the way. But something about today's stream, I could not tell the difference between the 3 colorations. It's tripping me out, man. I'm pretty sure I'm normally on neutral. I mean, more warm makes you look even more red. Junior Researcher Sally, I am always red in the first place. I don't need any more. Okay, I think the light is back to normal. All right, guys. Insanity over. See you guys tomorrow. Be safe, be well. Secure, contain, protect. She packed my bags last night, pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me around again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning out his fuse up here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The credit song is Rocket Man by Elton John. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff. See you next time. Secure, contain, protect.